Hello everyone, today we'll see how to turn a portrait into a zombie. So this is before the infection and this is after the infection. As you can see, it looks really cool, and we'll see how to do that using Adobe Photoshop. Alright, but you need to download this texture and resources that we'll be using in this tutorial. I will put this folder in the link from the description below, so you just download it and you will find it in there. So before you start in this tutorial, just make sure to download all this. Alright, fantastic, so let's get to it. Alright, so open your Adobe Photoshop, and as you can see, I still have my pasty still open. I will make sure to put this pasty also in the link from the description below, so you can see everything I did in this first pasty. But we'll start over again. So we just open a picture that you want to use. I will just use the same picture in here, and I will just open it in a different window. And the first thing we'll do is we'll play with the tone of the image. So we just go to adjustments and choose curves here, and I will just darken it a little bit by putting these curves a little bit down like so. Alright, somewhere in here. Okay, and I will just also play with the saturation. So we just go and choose hue saturation in here, and I will just bring down the saturation for minus 70 or 72. Alright, minus 71. Okay, and now I will just start darkening some of the edges of the face in here. So I will just make a new layer, and I will fill it with 50% gray. So we just press Shift F5 on my keyboard, and the fill will pop up, and I will just make sure in the contents use 50% gray, and I will press OK. Now I will make the blending mode to overlay, and with the block brush here. By the way, that's the brushes that we will be using. So we just go and choose load brush, and you will find this in the link from the description below. You find this brush in here. Just double click to it and press load, and you will find these 3 brushes in here. So just choose this one in here, and I will make the opacity for 50% and 50% flow, and I will start darkening some of the area in here. So I will just darken this part in here of the eye like that. Just make it look really creepy. The zombie, just make it really dark like that, and also in here. Just like so. So I will just fast this part in here. As you can see, it will take some times to darken all the area in here. So we'll just fast forward this part, but as you can see in the nose, just make it a little bit pointy in here. Alright, and a little bit in here. So we just go forward. See you in a second. Alright, something like that. As you can see, just playing with that, and I will call this shadows. Alright, now I will go to the background in here, and I will make a new layer, and I will call this skin, because we're playing with the skin. So I will take a brush again, and I will make this time the opacity 100 by 100, and I will use a different color, maybe red. I will just try like to cover the face in here, so we'll use it as a mask. Alright, something like that. You know, just cover all the skin. Okay. Alright, something like that. And now we'll just make the fill to 0%, like so, and I will just double click to it. So we'll go to the pattern overlay in here, and this is where you will load the pattern that you will find in the folder. So you just go and choose load, and I will just go to the folder where you save all the patterns, where you save the file in here. So we just choose this pattern here and press load, and you will find it in here. So we just use this last texture in here. So we just one click to it, and I will make the scaling for like 50%, and I will choose the blending mode to linear light. Alright, that. And I will just bring down the opacity in here, something like that. As you can see, it will give it this really cool effect to the skin, like a zombie-ish effect, like that. But of course we'll choose where we want to put this effect on. Let me just go back, and I think I will put the opacity like 25 in here inside the layer style dialog. I will just choose 25, and I will just make it in here for like 75%, like that. Alright, and I will just make a black layer mask by pressing Alt one click, and I will just start by using a brush with a black color. I will just use it like to make the effects visible in these areas in here, like that. As you can see, this way we can control where we want it to be. Alright, something in here, there, the nose. Okay, you know, just playing with textures. Alright, and also by going to black color, you can, you know, hide the part that you don't want to be on, like. Alright, something like that. Let's use this part in here just a little bit. Alright, okay, cool. Alright, as you can see, looks nice. Now we'll apply a zombie skin in here. So we will find this in you find the two texture in here. So just load this one first, and I will just make it a little bit smaller because I just want to use it just in this part in here. Alright, okay, press enter. Now I will change the blending mode to color burn, and I will apply a black layer mask again by pressing Alt one click, and also by using a brush I will just reveal it in the parts that I want it to be. So we just start in the eyes in here. Okay, like that. Maybe I would make the opacity down a little bit. Alright, you can see. We'll just keep changing the opacity. Alright. Alright, so now I will go and load the other one in here. So we just make it like that, and then we just work like so. It's a little bit bigger, and then we just do the same like in here. So we just change the blending mode to carbon, and I will make a black layer mask by pressing Alt 1 click, and I will just do the same thing in here. So we just fast this part in here. Alright, something like that. You can see this is like the second skin, and this is the first skin in here. Alright. Starting to look cool, but now let's start making the eyes. So we just go in here and make a new layer, and I will call this eyes, and I will just use this color in here. So we just put A5, A3, 9, F. This is gray color in here. And again, by using a soft brush, let's make the opacity for like 30%. I will start covering the eyes in here. So we just maybe not that much, maybe 10%. So we just start covering the eyes like that. Alright. Like you can also put down the flow. So just play with that. Wait. Like that. Alright, and I will go to this one in here. Alright. Okay, now I will apply a curve to it, so let's just make this a little bit in here. You know, obviously, like, you need to work more on the eyes, so just always quick because of the tutorial, but you know, just give it a little bit more time and make it look even more cooler than this. Alright, now I'll go and choose curves, and I will just bring down a little bit in here, somewhere like that, and I will just, let me just make a clipping mask so it affects just the eyes. So we just like that, maybe in here. Alright, so this will make them a little bit off. Okay, I think it looks cool, as you can see. Alright, and I will go and choose another curve in here, and I will just make a clipping mask again, and I will make them even more darker, like that. You know, just to make the shadows. Alright, something like that, and I will make this layer mask black by pressing Ctrl I, and I will start like making the shadows in here. So by choosing a white color with a brush, I will just start like to paint the shadows in there, like that. That's in the edges in here. Alright. As you can see, like so. Alright, not bad. You can also go back and, you know, paint some more on the eyes like that. You know, just make it looks cooler like that. Here. Alright. Think it looks nice. Yeah. Alright. Okay. Alright, now I will go back in here and I will make a new layer. Sorry, I will just make a new group, and I will call this cracks or more skins. And I will just go to my folder in here, and I will choose this texture in here, and I will open it like that, and I will just put it in the folder in here, and I will apply a hue saturation in this file in here. And I will just pick it like -60 in here, or -70 like this, and I will make it a clipping mask in this folder in here. So this way, because we will repeat this texture in here, so I want like to put this in. Let me just put the opacity down a little bit. So we just want to use this crack in here like that. All right. Yeah. All right, something in here. All right, and I will make it 100% again, and this time I will choose the blending mode to overlay, and I will make a black layer mask again by pressing Alt 1 click, and again I will just start brushing over like that. You know, that's the part that I want. Okay, in here. right. Just by pressing X you can switch between black and white. You can just delete the area that you don't want by switching back and forth like that. Alright, something like that. Alright. So we just keep doing that like this. I just want the cracks to be shown in here. Like in here you can put the hue saturation, just clip in mask, clip it in the same texture. You can do that, as you can see, and I will just make the ears involved in here. Alright, something like this. Alright, and I will just bring again this same texture again, and I will just apply it in this part in here. So just make again a copy of it like that, and I will just apply it in here. So we'll put the blending mode to overlay again, and I will just make a copy of this hue saturation, and I will make a clipping mask to it, and I'll put the layer, a black layer mask like this, and again I will just paint with the white brush in here in these areas like this, just to bring more of this zombie-ish skin. Alright, as you can see, in the forehead in here. So we just keep doing that, just repeating this texture in here until like it looks really cool like that. And I will be back in a second. As you can see, this is all the texture I use in here. It's a lot, but I think it looks cool. And now, like we have them all in a folder, we can just apply a layer mask to all of them by just applying a layer mask to this folder in here, and we can delete wherever we want. So we just delete some of the edges in here, because like I don't like to be in this like that. Yeah, here, the mouth. All right. Okay. All right. Now we'll add the blood in the mouth in here. So we just make a new layer on top of everything in here and call this blood. And for this, like, we will use this blood colors in here. So it will be easier, like, to choose the red color in here. So just put it like so. All right. And I will make a new layer again because somehow the layer I made it disappear. I'll call this blood again, and I will go to the brush that we just load, and you will find in here this blood in here. So we just choose a red color. So we just choose this one in here, or this one, I think, yeah. And I will just one click let me make sure in here like the opacity is 100 and the flow is 100, and I will just one click, and as you can see it will make it blood in here. So just press Ctrl T, so we'll just make it as I want it. So all I want is this down area in here, so we just make it like that. Alright, and I will change the blending mode to multiply. As you can see it will fit perfectly, and I will choose this brush again, and I will down the opacity, and I will make a layer mask, and I will just delete this area in here because I don't want it. Alright, just like so. Alright, and again I will make a new layer, and I'll call this blood 2, and I will go to the same brush in here, and again 100% opacity, and one click, and this time press Ctrl T, and I will choose right click, flip vertical, and I will make it a little bit smaller because I want it to come from the nose like that. Okay, alright, something like this, and enter, and I will change the blending mode again to multiply. As you can see it looks nice, and I will choose this same brush again, and I will just delete like that, so it will looks like, let me just make a layer mask, and I will just delete this part in here so it looks like coming out from the nose like so. Just to make it a little bit cooler like that. Alright, and I will just delete this part in here. Let me just uncheck this one so we'll see what I'm doing. Alright, in here. Okay, looks nice as you can see. And there we go, we have the mouth, the blood in the mouth. Okay, just clean more in here. Alright, so we just delete these colors in here. Right, I like it. Alright, now I will go back to the process, and I will choose this time these veins in here, and I will just let me just make a new layer first, and it's one click. We put the opacity 100, and I will just one click, and I will press Ctrl T again, and I will make it a little bit smaller, so we just use it in this area in here. Alright, somewhere in here. Okay, and I will again choose multiply, as you can see, and another one in here. I'll just make it a little bit smaller. Okay, looks nice as you can see, and there we go, we have the mouth ready. Nice. Alright, now I will make another 50% gray in here, so we just make a new layer. Let's call this veins first, and I will call this let's make it in a 50% gray, so we'll press shift F5 again, and 50% gray, and then press OK, and this time I will change it to soft light because we just make it like everything settle down. So we just press 10 or 15% opacity by 15% flow, and I will just, by choosing this brush again, I will just make you know, these areas, like make the shadow appear more. Let me just choose a black color, and I will start painting in the shadows in here. Alright, here, just to make it over the blood in here. Alright, and I think in the eyes too, because I just want to make it more shadow in here, the edges, like that. Alright, maybe in here. Just play with that, you can see, and in the cracks. This way it looks more realistic, as you can see. All right. Nice. Let's go to the ears. All right, looks nice. And the neck in here. Alright, so we're almost done. So now let's just make a kind of vignette. So just go to this elliptical marquee tool in here, and we just make a elliptical just in the face like that, maybe just like so. And then we go to select, modify, feather, and it depends on the resolution of your image. You can, you know, try the pixels in here, so we just keep it in 200, and I will press Shift Ctrl I. This will reverse the selection, and I will just fill it with black by pressing Alt backspace in here and press Ctrl D to deselect, and I will make the opacity, the blending mode to soft light, and I will bring down the opacity for like 50%. And again I will make a new layer, and I will repeat the same method, but this time I will just make it a little bit smaller like that. Alright, and I will go again to select, modify, feather, and again I will reverse it by pressing Ctrl Shift I, and I will fill it with black again, and I will put the soft light, and I will bring down the opacity like so. Alright, and I will put both of them in a group, and I will call this vignette. Alright, okay, that's really like just focus on the face in here. Alright, so we're almost done. Alright, now we'll just take a snapshot of the image in here. So just press Ctrl Shift Alt E, and it will make it in a separate layer in here, as you can see. And I just want like to blur some of this texture we used. So as you can see, this part in here it's blurred, and this part in here, but this is like not blurred. So what we can do, we can just use the the blur tool in here, or we can just make a copy of it by pressing Ctrl G and apply a Gaussian blur, and I will press OK, and we apply a black layer mask, and we just start revealing the blur where we want. In here, for example, just paint with the white color, and just blur the area that you want it to be blurred. In this case, part of the neck in here and in here, just to follow the focus of the image. Alright, the ears in here, I think the ears looks a little bit blurry. Alright, and in this area in here, the edges, that it should be blurred. Alright, and of course you can just make the opacity. Alright, I like it. Alright, now I will just go and choose levels, and I will go to the blue in here, and I will just bring down the black in here a little bit, just a little bit, and bring up the yellows just a little bit too. Alright, just to give it that bluish look. Alright, now we'll go and choose a selective color, and I will just play with the red a little bit. So we just let me just zoom to this blood in here. Alright, okay, and I will go directly to the neutral in here, and this we will just affect in every color in here. So we just try to give it that look, zombie-ish look. Alright, and there we go. So this is the final image in here, as you can see. So that's we went from this to something like that. So I hope that you enjoy and you like this tutorial and it was a little bit helpful for you. Don't forget to subscribe and comment, and wait for more tutorial to come, and have a nice day. Thank you for watching.